In the book, in the first chapter, I talk about a lady who was in her late 40s who came to the emergency room at Grady Hospital, which is now, by the way, with the decline of Los Angeles General and the closing of Charity after the hurricane, Grady is the largest public hospital in the United States. The story happens about once a year at Grady, but it never happened as graphic as this. This lady comes to the hospital, has wrapped in a moist terry cloth, put into a large, one of these 2 quart-sized sandwich bags, Ziploc bags. She comes in, sits in the waiting room for probably 4 hours. That's what you normally have to do unless you're bleeding or not breathing when you come to the emergency room there. And on her admission forms, the chief complaint was, "My breast fell off, can you reattach it?" And we were called, the oncologists were called to help work her up. And she had what was called an automastectomy. This is a lady who had watched a breast mass grow, timing it from the time her son was in 2nd grade. She had watched it grow for 9 to 10 years. She had watched it start eroding through the skin, and she tried to cover up the anaerobic bacterial infection smell with perfume. And ultimately, the tumor cut through all of the blood vessels, and she was a large-breasted woman. The tumor was close to the chest wall, so the anterior of the breast fell off. Now, this is a woman who, at some college education, at least 2 years of college, she worked for the local phone company, and at one time it had health insurance. She, in my theme of we need to educate, she at first didn't want to go to the doctor. One excuse was when Aunt Sally went and was diagnosed with breast cancer, she died 3 months later. "I'm not ready to die, I have to be here for my kids, so I don't want to get diagnosed." That was one problem. Another problem was her employer had this thing where if you took time off to be sick, you took the entire day off. There was no taking a half day or taking 2 hours. You took the whole day off. She saved her sick leave for her family. So that was another convenient excuse to not go to the doctor. Eventually, a convenient excuse became that the phone company raised the co-pays on health insurance so high that she had to drop her health insurance because she couldn't afford to support her family. And so then she didn't go to the doctor because she didn't have health insurance. And this progressed for a decade as she watched this thing grow, and then she finally came to us. Needless to say, she had metastatic disease, and she died about 2 years later. Given the growth of her tumor, it's likely that if we had seen her in the first year or 2 that she had recognized that she had a problem, we may very well have been able